When we were in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, Lee Russell found a water spot, because you know this place gets flooded sometimes. She found a water spot where that carpet was, and she ripped it up. She just ripped it up, and then she threw it away. And for years, they didn't replace the thing. There was just this torn piece of carpet, and I kept wondering, why does no one see this but me? Why am I the only one that noticed that she did that?
I remember from Into the Woods, me and Adam, we wanted to be in the same cast, of course, and he got casted as the baker. I was the baker's wife, but we were in the two separate casts. And as the show was going on, there was a little gold cup that would sit on top of the mirrors, by the makeup mirrors, and we would pass notes back and forth, like between our shows. Like I'd come in one Friday night, and the next Saturday night there'd be a note from me to him, and then he'd do the same thing back. And as long as the gold cup stayed up there, we would pass the notes back and forth. That's the only thing I can think of, though.
We were in Music Man, and it was like second weekend. Everyone was real comfortable with the show and everything, and we're performing this big dance number with everyone on stage, and then we blocked it, and we thought, you know, there's no choreography issues here. Next thing we know, Stacy disappeared. She went off the edge of the stage. She bounced off the edge of the stage, and she was just there. And we were like, we kept going, and before we knew it, Stacy popped back on stage, finished the number, and then ran off stage and cried. Amazing. That's talent right there.
The braces on my teeth right now, I have because somebody in the theater said something, and it turned out that I could get them for free. They actually helped. I mean, I wouldn't have my braces right now if it wasn't for Bern Civic Theatre, which that's a big deal.
I had a weird feeling when we were in Oliver that something weird was going to happen, because it was my first show here. It was my second show, but it was my first show here. And I had this weird feeling in the balcony that something was going to happen, and I turned to Christy Ray and I said, something weird's going to happen opening night, and I don't know what it is. And opening night, the lights cut off, and everyone fell coming down the aisle. It was the weirdest thing. And then later that night, Denise Ray was in the show, and a bag fell on top of her head, and she blacked out. So, you know, you could call me psychic if you wanted to.
I remember in the first show, Oliver, when Willie Sumner was playing Fagin, he had a wax prosthetic nose on, and he was coming out of the stage door, and he hit his nose on the little edge, and it was hanging off his nose. He didn't notice it. There was a lady in the front row pointing at his nose saying, "Your nose is falling off." And he was trying to sing his song, and he looks down and he sees it. And I always remember going backstage and he having all these fake noses on his mirror, and that was really weird and creepy and kind of like, I don't know, Billy Bob, whatever's Hannibal Lecter-ish. Just kidding, Willie. Love you.
I mean, there's so many stories, so little time. Really, seriously.
Well, I got 4.5 hours on this camera.
Well, I'm serious. We have that many stories.